One of the world's most successful novelist writers, Haruki Murakami, has a secret, and it's how he stayed on top of his game as a writer for over 40 years. And it's not what you might think it is, and it would scare most people what he actually does. And this is the top 3 takeaways I got from the book, what I talk about when I talk about running. And one of them changed how I look at the daily grind. Let's get into it. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm AB, and on this channel we read a book every week. So if you're struggling to read or just don't have the time, then I give you the top takeaways. So on this one, we're going to talk about what I talk about when I talk about running by Haruki Murakami. So let's get into number 1, which is ownership and accountability. Now, I found it interesting that Murakami kept talking about this idea of, just putting in the work, doing it. Like, no one's going to come save you, it's up to us to improve ourselves. It's up to us to put in the work. It's up to us to go do the thing, become that person, go there, do that. And we can't just sit back and be like, oh, can someone just come save me? I wish I would just, win lotto, or, I wish someone would do this thing for me. But it's not going to work like that. We have to actually put in the work. It's up to us. And his mentality around riding and running really blew my mind of how disciplined he was, and how he was like, you just got to do it. You can't just sit back. And his quote about writing was really interesting to me. After focusing, the most important thing for a novelist is hands down endurance. If you concentrate on writing 3 or 4 hours a day and feel tired after a week of this, you're not going to be able to write a long work. What's needed for a writer of fiction, at least one who hopes to write a novel, is the energy to focus every day for half a year or a year, 2 years. It's crazy to me that he has to go to his desk and just write. And he knows he's going to have to write for half a year to up to 2 years just to get this story out. And he knows he's going to have to do it every single day, but he just knows that's what it's going to take. That's the idea behind, accountability. He has to do it. No one else is going to do it for him. He has to sit down and do the work. Passive and then proactive. So we have events that happen in our lives, right? So if we can either do 2 things, we can either blame or take action, right? And one of those things will lead to stagnation, where you go, why me? Oh, this happened to me. Oh, whatever it might be. That's not being very active when you just sit back and go, me, why? Where you could just go, this happened, I'm going to move on, or I'm going to take action to it, or I'm going to pivot, or whatever it is, and that is improvement. Now that is pretty much his whole thing. If you have the strength to lift a coffee cup, they figure you can write a novel. It doesn't have to be hard if you think about it. It doesn't have to be hard at all. If you want to be a writer, then just pick up a pen or open a Word document, start writing. You're a writer. You want to be a runner? Put on some shoes, go outside, start running. You are now officially a runner. You don't have to be paid. You don't have to have a degree on the wall, a piece of paper, a certificate to say that you are this thing now. If you do it, you are it. It's that simple. So now we go on to number 2, which is the power of consistency. Again, his work ethic is insane. The fact that he does 3 to 6 hours of writing every single day just blows my mind. He just sits down, just has this mentality or just this mindset of okay, I'm at work now, I do the thing. It's not this romanticized thing where he can go sit on a beach or, have this beautiful wooden shack and just have this beautiful view and do this thing. No, he just gets up, go to his desk, starts writing. Okay, 4 hours is done, clock off, do other things. It just blows my mind. And this DNA idea of we think of outstanding as amazing, you have to do this thing. When we think of an NBA player getting thousands of dollars and winning a championship, what we don't actually watch is the hours and hours of them shooting hoops and running up and down a court. No one wants to watch that. We just want to see the end result. So his idea of DNA of outstanding is actually boring. To be outstanding, you have to do mundane, boring things all the time, every day. And this idea of his thing in this book about riding and running, if we break it down to the bare essentials, the minimum thing, It's actually really, really boring if you think about it, but you can get amazing results from doing something consistently and over again. You will reach, like the Atomic Habits thing where you go, you do a little bit of like, here's your time frame, and then here's your results or your goal. And you can either do nothing, which is this line here, or you can do like a little bit, I guess, and then you plateau off and you go all over the place and you get to here, you might get to about there. But if you do it every single day and be consistent, this is what happens to you. You just go up, 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 up. You just get better and better and better. And it's absolutely crazy to me. This quote here, I didn't come here to walk. I came to run. That's the reason. The only reason. I flew all the way to the northern tip of Japan. No matter how slow I might run, I wasn't going to walk. That was the rule. Break one of my rules once, and then I'm bound to break many more. And if I've done that, it would have been next to impossible to finish the race. Not giving up. This idea of just doing like a little bit, like even like, again, let's go back to his writing. He writes for 4 hours a day, but like for me, or maybe you, just sitting at the desk every day and writing a sentence is good enough to just start that pattern, that routine, that consistency. And then you might get to 15 minutes, 25. You might do the Pomodoro technique where you do 25 minutes and then have a rest. Or you might get to like an hour. And then after a while, you might feel weird not writing every day. This idea of just doing it and doing it and doing it is absolutely crazy, and this like compounding effect of consistency. So my new simple and regular life began. I got up before 4 a.m. and went to bed before 10 p.m. People are at their best at different times of the day, but I'm definitely a morning person. That's when I can focus and finish up important work I have to do. Afterwards, I work out or do other errands that don't take much concentration. At the end of the day, I relax and don't do any more work. I read, I listen to music, I take it easy, and I try to go to bed early. That is the pattern. This idea of consistency is so effective, and like the fact that I love the fact that he says it in this book here. I absolutely love the fact he says that. Processes over outcomes. This idea of expectations can lead to disappointment. This, you think of like, you want to achieve this thing, go here, do this thing. Maybe you want your partner to do something, and when you come home, it's not done, and you have these high expectations and they're not met. So you're instantly disappointed. And this idea of disconnecting from the end goal, the result, and rather focusing on just the consistency, the idea of doing it rather than getting to this place is much more powerful, because you're thinking about the process more. And this is his idea of like writing every day. This is his idea of going for a run, to disconnect, to no longer think about the actual most important task anymore, so he can disconnect and just be himself and not have these high expectations. Like, okay, I've done my thing, I've written for 4 hours a day, okay, now I'm gonna go run, which is absolutely nothing to do with my main goal, so I can disconnect and just chill out and remove myself from these high expectations. Is just amazingly freeing. And if we think about it like this, like his idea of disconnect, for me, when I was reading his book, I really thought of it as like a form of meditation. And him running, it's just like he's disconnecting. Not disconnecting from the world or his responsibilities or anything like that, but disconnecting from the expectations of this final product, this result, this end goal, and just becoming, think about like a system. And I got that from this book quite a lot, actually. The thoughts that occur to me while I run are like clouds in the sky. Clouds of all different sizes. They come and they go, while the sky remains the same sky as always. The clouds are merely guests in the sky that pass away and vanish, leaving behind the sky. The sky both exists and doesn't exist. It has substance and at the same time doesn't. And we merely accept that vast expanse and drink it in. To me, this sounds like meditation. This idea of like, when I think about meditation and you sit down and you get all these thoughts in your head and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm thinking about too many things. Oh, I'm not relaxing. I have to focus on my breathing. But what meditation is for me is you have an idea, comes in your head, and that's okay. And you just let it go and it goes past. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I got to do the dishes. That's okay. Back to my breathing. And that's like meditation for me. And for him, It sounded like running was his form of meditation, his form of finding peace and just letting go and his thoughts and things like that. I found it super, super interesting. I'm often asked what I think about as I run. Usually the people who ask this have never run long distances themselves. I always ponder the question, what exactly do I think about when I'm running? I don't have a clue. Meditation, just not thinking, just doing something. It's really, really interesting. And this book, I would definitely give this book a 7 out of 10. I found it super, super interesting. There weren't super massive insights, but again, it is, what do we call it? We call it as a memoir to running for him. So I didn't expect it to be like a self-help book or steps on how to become a runner or steps how to become a really, really good writer. But it was really, 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 really good, I thought. And what I learned the most about this book was that consistency is everything. So if you want to build a habit or you want to start doing something consistently every single day, then I highly recommend you check out this book, Atomic Habits, and I'll see you over there.